Blog Talk Radio.
Out at foggy midfield, muddy midfield, although they've done a heck of a job getting the field ready, they just tossed the coin to start the proceeding.
Silver back looking left, looking in, he's going to go long down the left side, there he is, and it is called 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Jason Cruz. Coast to coast.
Welcome to the Nothing But Sports Show on NBS Central Radio, hosted by Jay Franchise, Yvonne Maddock, and Truex the Sports Junkie, where they give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help us God.
So help us God, baby. What's good? What's good? What's good, baby? Welcome to the Nothing But Sports Show on NBS Central Radio. Of course, I'm your host, Truex the Sports Junkie. Man, I'm super excited for this show. We got the homie, man, in the building. My boy from San Jose. What up, man?
Yo, what's good, man? I'm looking forward to tonight's show. It's, the football, the NFL season is, it kicks off this week. And I'm looking forward to hear everybody's predictions tonight. We're going to talk some NFL, some college football. And towards the end of the show, we got a huge UFC event coming up on Saturday also.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, last week he came on for half the show, but he's officially back tonight, baby. My son, Mr. Box Office.
Woo! I am back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually very, very happy to be back. I'm finally adjusted back into America. I was in Europe for a month, back in my home country of Croatia. I'm back, and I couldn't have asked to come back at a better time. It's football season. Let's get this show on the road. Woo!
Oh, and college football is interesting this weekend.
Woo-hoo!
And, I know you guys are excited for football. Make sure you guys check out baseball, man. The wild card race is getting really competitive right now, man.
I'm hanging up.
But besides that, we're going to be covering a lot in the NFL. So let's kick it off with college football. Let's recap week 1 and how we normally do it with our college football. Winners and losers. How we have it this week for the first week.
All righty. So the big game of the week was Auburn, Oregon. I think everybody else, expected Duke, Alabama to end up how it was, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Ohio State, Florida Atlantic, Texas, Louisiana Tech, LSU, Georgia Southern, and so on. Clemson obviously kicked off things back on Thursday. They did what everybody expected Clemson to do. But to me, the biggest winner was Auburn. The reason why is, this is the second year Auburn's beat a Pac-12 team on a neutral site. They beat Washington last year in the opener. This year they take care of Oregon. I had Oregon winning this game. I knew it would come down to a close game, and I thought it would be close. The reason I had Auburn losing this game is because Bo Nix was a freshman quarterback, which, by the way, I like Bo Nix. I liked him out of high school when he committed to Auburn. I've always said Auburn's my favorite SEC team. And I watched his highlights, and I knew his father played at Auburn. And so he always wanted to be an Auburn Tiger, and I liked the fit and everything. And I watched a couple of his high school highlights, and he could actually run the ball a lot too. I don't think we saw that enough at the Oregon game. And I thought Oregon was going to win based off of experience. So Bo Nix was a freshman, but Oregon had the most experienced offensive line in the country. And they had a quarterback that Keo's big on who has experience in Justin Herbert. And they led this game 21-6 and choked it at the end. Bo Nix made the biggest play of the night with the touchdown throw at the end. And also, they didn't even need the touchdown. But he went for it, and it showed a lot of guts. And also for Bo Nix, he didn't have the best game at all in his first start at Auburn, but it now is a very memorable one because he turned it up in the second half. That drive in the end was very clutch. You guys remember the 4th and 3 where he snuck it for the first down? So Auburn being the underdog with a less experienced team, I got to say they're the winners. And if you guys check the recent AP poll, which came out today, they're the 10th ranked team in the nation. They're already a top 10 team just because of that. I will say I was down on Auburn going into this year. I was like, man, Gus Malzahn might get fired. Their schedule is brutal. I mean, let's talk about it. So I thought they would lose to Oregon. They still have at Texas A&M, at Florida, at LSU, and then they get Georgia and Alabama at home. So that's a brutal schedule. I mean, you're talking about big game after big game, but 1-0 right as of right now. They play Tulane this weekend. They're going to beat Tulane. So Auburn's off to a good start.
What'd
you say?
Don't be disrespectful to the Green Wave.
Oh, Louisiana. Here he goes. But anyways, and to me, the biggest loser, so Auburn, to me, is the biggest winner. But I felt like the biggest loser was actually Oregon, the team that they lost to. I mean, this proved to everybody Oregon is who we thought they were at the end of the day. At least all of us thought, except Keo. Keo had them in the Final Four. That's already one team out. So Oregon, to me, every year is hyped up. They always have the athletes that we know about their jerseys, but they can't ever get over the hump. Sure, they showed signs with the Marcus Mariota. They got to the national title game, and even when they lost to Auburn back in 2011 in the national title game, Oregon's that team of they're trying to be Clemson, okay? Because Clemson used to be that team for years where they'd come up short and they'd always get so close, and then eventually Clemson's now the cream of the crop. Now everybody's trying to be Clemson. Maybe that happens for Oregon one day, but as of right now, they don't get it done on the big stage. They just don't. And so to me, because of that big game and everybody else taking care of business as expected, my winner's Auburn, my loser's Oregon.
Okay. I have no complaints with that at all. Obviously, Bo Nix, I'm not even going to say Auburn. Bo Nix is a big winner this week, but since Yvonne went that way, I'm going to go a different way. But I do want to say shout out to Bo Nix, man. He didn't play the greatest game, but in the fourth quarter when they counted the most, especially on that game-winning drive, he came up, man. He came up big, man. That 4th and 3 was crucial. I didn't even think he was going to get it when he took off. I said, oh, they're going to hit him. The dude's right there. But he dove for it. He got it. He got it clearly to me. And, of course, you can make – I understand Yvonne's argument as far as Oregon being the biggest loser because a lot of people, like Keo, had him in the Pac-12, winning the Pac-12 and going to the Final Four. Now you think to yourself, is a Pac-12 team going to get into the playoffs again? Or will a Pac-12 team get into the playoffs this year with the loss of Oregon? So the Pac-12 as a whole could be a loss, but I like how Washington plays, so I'm not going to do that to the Pac-12. Now, my biggest winner and my biggest loser is going to come from one of the same games as well, but not the game that Yvonne picks. My biggest winner is the Boise State Broncos. Now, I did pick them, and I did think they were going to win just because I did not trust Willie Taggart. I didn't like the way Florida State played last year. Felt like, they were being a little overhyped this year. And I was like, you know what, X, despite Florida State being at home, you got to pick against them because of Boise State's resume, what they've done throughout these years in opening games. They beat Georgia in an opening game before. they beat big-time programs in opening games. So I was like, man, you got to go with Boise State. Now, it's true. Just like Auburn, they started a freshman. My man, Botnier, however you say his name, my man was doing his thing. And he started off rocky. He started off real rocky. I mean, Florida State, I want to say, was up 31. They scored all these points in the first half. Let's just say that. I know it was 31-something, 13, I think, at one point, 31-13. And people thought the game was over. I swear on my life, I actually texted Keo. Keo can tell y'all this. I texted him. I kept saying, googly eyes, Boise, Boise. I felt like Boise was in the game. They just kept making a couple of mistakes, but if they can just capitalize, they would get there. And they kept getting to the red zone, and they would kick field goals, and they would settle it. I said, dude, if they can just get in the end zone, they'll be straight. But my man Mahomes, Robert Mahomes went crazy in that game to me. Big run after big run. I think Boise is the biggest winner because now, not only did they win the game, they went on the road to Florida State across the country when everybody thought the Seminoles, was going to win that game. And Boise not only won the game but came back from a double-digit lead on the road and beat Florida State, a team that I'm not saying is is great this season, but normally Florida State's a really good program. That's a huge win for Boise State. Now the Seminoles, on the other hand, you can't lose that game. You're the biggest losers this week, and it's not even close to me. Even if Yvonne wouldn't have picked Oregon, I would still pick Florida State because Florida State, you're at home. At home. You're up 31-13. Let's just say 31-13. James Blackman is 23 for 33, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and you lose the game? Cam Akers over 100 yards, and you lose the game? There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. You cannot lose a home game against a freshman quarterback when you're up double digits at home. It's not even, you can't excuse that. So for me, Florida State is the same old Florida State with Willie Taggart, and I think Willie Taggart's out at the end of this year, which actually could turn out to be a win for Florida State. So Florida State's my biggest loser.
All right. I'm going with my winners. My winner, I'm going with North Carolina and Mac Brown, man.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Because the last time we saw Mac Brown, he was at Texas, obviously. And then, he didn't do well, towards the end of his term, like those last 4 seasons. He went 5-7, 8-5, 9-4, 8-5. That's not, the expectations, when it comes to, to the Texas Longhorns, and this was an emotional win for him. A lot of people expected North Carolina to win this game, and he was able to pull it off in the opener. I think he exceeded the expectations. They pulled off the 24-20 win against a rival, South Carolina, scoring 15 unanswered in the fourth quarter. And just so you know, Mac Brown's 68 years old, man. He was definitely happy about this. And I think it's a great story for week one. And he's definitely my winner for North Carolina. And I think, especially with Mac Brown, I think he could, engage to get these high-profile, athletes to come to North Carolina just by the name Mac Brown and what he's been able to accomplish. So he's definitely my winner. My loser, man, this actually hurts me, man. Yvonne, you got hurt by Andrew Luck. Now I'm hurt by USC. I got USC as my losers because they lost their starting quarterback, J.T. Daniels. to a major injury during halftime. I mean, right before halftime. It was it was a play when a couple defenders sacked him, and he landed really awkwardly on his knee, and they already announced that he's done for the season with an ACL and a meniscus tear, and it's a huge blow, man, especially for me, for a USC fan, and yeah, man, and on top of that, this doesn't make it any better because you talk about the next 6 weeks. Do people realize what their schedule is? Because they got to play number 25 Stanford this week. Then they got to go to BYU. Then they come back home against Utah. The following week, they go to Washington. They get a bye. And when they come back from the bye, they're going to South Bend to play Notre Dame. So this is horrible, man. And now they got to rely on the freshman Kendon Slovis, who took over for Daniels in the Fresno State game. And man, this hurts, man. Like it hurts me talking about it, but USC, they have to, grow up in a hurry, man, and they got to figure this out. And I could see the Trojans losing all those games. Maybe not that BYU game, but they definitely might lose this after 1 week. But
you finish? I'm sorry, you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask y'all, because I forgot to say it in mine. Do y'all think that Boise State can go undefeated now?
I'm going to take a look at their schedule because I don't know if they have a huge game. Let me see.
Nope.
I know they have Marshall this week, and that's a W. Wow, they might go undefeated, yeah.
Yep, I think so too. As I want to say that, but I forgot to say it. I'm doing something as I'm on the show, and I forgot to say that at one point. And I was like, man, I think Boise is going to see the BYU going to be a tough game. I think on the road, just because BYU, they're a decent team. So,
yeah, other than that, their schedule is not tough.
So, yeah, I just wanted to know. But I think that y'all all picked really good ones. I like the one Keel picked North Carolina. That was a really good one. And USC, I think it's tough, man. Losing the starting quarterback the first game of the season, I do think USC is going to struggle this season. I can see them losing 5 games, 6 games this season.
Yeah. So this next, it could be huge trouble for them. But those are actually our winners and losers for this week in college football, and it was really interesting, man. And a lot of things happened. But before we go to our picks, let's go to our next topic. I think this is an interesting topic. So, it was all about the transfers, man, and they played pretty good with the transfers. So, out of all the transfers, as far as the quarterbacks go, who had the most impressive performance out of that bunch?
Okay, for me, it was Justin Fields at Ohio State. A lot of people don't know, Justin Fields came out the same time Trevor Lawrence did. He was actually the number 1 recruit overall. I think Lawrence was number 2, and they were both from Georgia. And one of them obviously had to commit to Georgia, being from there, and it was Justin Fields. And it's incredible with Georgia. They had Jacob Eason, who's now at Washington. Somebody might mention him as the transfer of the week because he was great. But they had Jacob Eason, who got hurt. They put in Jake Fromm, and they also had Justin Fields all at one time, and that's incredible for Georgia. But obviously, if these guys want to have some playing time, they have to go somewhere else. And Fields ended up at Ohio State. and I thought he was the transfer of the week. I mean, come on, a lot of eyes were on him, and he had almost as many touchdowns as incompletions. He had 5 touchdowns. He had 7 incompletions. That's incredible. They took care of business against Lane Kiffin's Florida Atlantic. Ohio State balled out. But I think Fields should get the credit because he lived up to the hype, at least in terms of week 1. I think most of the eyes were on him. And, come on, 5 touchdowns, you can't ask for better. He was my transfer of the week, even though I felt like a lot of those transfers did really well. And I also want to add this. I think those transfers, there's a lot of talk, is that good for college football? I think it's great for college football because you have a lot of 4- and 5-star quarterbacks that are sitting on the bench. Meanwhile, if they're playing at other places, you see the level of competition more equal, and you see everybody out there playing. So I don't blame any transfer for transferring. I don't blame Justin Fields. What is he going to wait another year for Jake Fromm to leave? No, he understands the talent he has. He understands college is 4 years max to play. So he's not going to wait. He's not going to waste those years on the bench. He has to show what he has. So potentially one day he can make money off of football in the NFL. So I don't blame any transfer or trying to go somewhere else. And I think it's actually a good thing for college football.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. I love Justin Fields. I actually thought about naming him my Heisman on my when we picked the Heisman pick. So I can't say that I'm super surprised. I actually picked Ohio State to make it to the Final Four. The guy that I have to be honest with myself, man, Jalen Hurts. I gotta go with Jalen Hurts. And it hurts, I guess, to say that because I didn't see it coming. Why would I pick Jalen Hurts? Okay, first of all, I think they played the best team out of the guys that I even thought about giving my answer for in this topic. I think Houston's a better team than the who Washington played or who Ohio State played. Houston's a solid team. Year in and year out, they can pretty much, score at least. They have good players. Ed Oliver just got drafted in the first round, top 10 pick in the NFL. So Houston's not a bad team. And Oklahoma just, as far as offensively, was just bust on them. And Jalen Hurts, man, I know Yvonne just brought up what Fields did. Jalen Hurts was 20 for 23 with 300 yards and 3 touchdowns passing. Now let's add in 176 rushing yards and 3 more touchdowns. If you would have told me Jalen Hurts would have more touchdowns than incompletions and the same amount of passing touchdowns as he had incompletions against Houston, I would have said, come on, man. I would have took that bet. And I'm not going to lie, I'm one of the guys that was like, man, I don't know how this is going to work because Jalen Hurts really wasn't the best thrower at Alabama, and he came in and he did his thing, bro. Another thing I got to give him credit for, he wasn't just taking over any team. He was taking over the Heisman Trophy winners team last year and the number 1 overall pick in Kyler Murray. And, oh, yeah, what number did he choose to wear at Oklahoma? Come on, man. This dude here, man, I got to give him his props, bro. I'm not saying he's going to keep it up all year, but I'm giving Jalen Hurts his props. 6 touchdowns, over, 500 total yards? That's ridiculous, man. Against a pretty good Houston team, I think it's going to do pretty well the rest of the season. So I'm going with Jalen Hurts, even though I love Fields.
Well, I'm going a different route. I'm going Jacob Eason. I'm going with Jacob Eason from Washington. I think he was the most impressive out of that bunch because we knew what we're gonna get. I knew what I was gonna get from Jalen Hurts because especially with Lincoln Riley there, and then I was always high on Justin Fields, so I expected those guys to show up. Jacob Eason, before he left to Georgia, he didn't show you that he was a top guy. And when we're talking about the transfer, those were the guys that, when you talk about Jalen Hurts and Fields, that's what all the talk was about going to in week one when they talk about, you know, the top performers. But Eason, he showed that he ain't that guy from Georgia, man. Going for 27 out of 36, 349, 4 touchdowns. He completed 75% of his passes. And Washington, they went straight to it. They said, hey, we ain't running the ball. We're going to throw that damn ball, and we're going to show you that Jacob Eason is that guy. And they showed it all right, man. They beat them down 47-14. And they scored, dude. They started the first quarter 21-0, and this was based off of just throwing the ball, and he didn't just throw the ball to one certain individual. He spreaded that ball around. I think at least four. I think five. He had 5 players that had at least 5 receptions or more in that game with that 349 performance. So I felt like that was really impressive, and it showed. And this makes Washington a scary team because Washington, they didn't throw the ball like that last year, and now with Eason just based off of that debut, I think the Washington could be a scary team moving forward. And I think Eason out of the bunch was the guy that was not talked about and was under the radar. So I think he had the most impressive performance.
Respect, Paul. For all dudes, man, they all did their thing. I just love the competition. I felt like, you know, comes up a competition, but that's just my opinion. So, but I think all of them did well. I mean, I know you like Oregon. I think Yvonne was with me. I don't know for sure, but I had Washington winning the Pac-12 anyway, so I'm not surprised by that.
All right, so that was the last topic. So it's time to go to our picks. And last week, True was he was successful, man. He went 4-1. He went 4-1 in his picks.
Actually 5-1.
Yeah, I'm not counting that. We're not counting that. But
you gotta count Miami.
But you went 4-1 in your picks.
Oh.
Kia, what the hell are you talking about? We're counting Miami, and I need Miami too.
Okay, we're counting that. I'm talking about for this week.
We're counting that.
This past weekend, Miami and Florida didn't play this past weekend. I just want you guys to understand that.
All right. Go ahead, Kia.
Okay, after I was rudely interrupted, Drew is 4-1 after this past weekend. He's actually 5-1, but he's 4-1 after this past weekend, followed by actually Antonio. He's 3-2. Then comes me and Yvonne with 2-3, and you know where Marlon's at, so I'll leave it at that. So all right. So we got 5 huge matchups. 5 matchups. So let's start off with the first game, and I was mentioning Mac Brown earlier, and North Carolina plays Miami. Who we got?
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, so I've always been a Mac Brown guy, obviously. He did a lot for Texas. And he actually impressed me with the win this past weekend. I didn't expect them to beat South Carolina. The Tar Heels are at home. This is actually tougher to pick than most. I'm going to go with Miami because I think they've had a little more rest, but I will not be surprised if UNC upsets them.
In the words of my good friend Lee Carson, not so fast, my friend. I got the Tar Heels. I don't like Miami at all. I told you that last week or 2 weeks ago whenever we picked the game for Miami, Florida. I don't like Florida, but I like them more than Miami. Miami is overhyped. I don't believe in Miami. I don't think that Manny Diaz is the answer over there. Mac Brown actually is a good head coach. You know, I give Ivan a hard time about Texas, but Mac Brown, man, we know he can coach. And I think that the Tar Heels are going to, you know, beat Miami because they're better coached. If you watch the Miami-Florida game, that was an ugly game. They're going to turn over the ball. They're going to do stupid penalties. And I think that they're not going to be able to keep up with a well-coached North Carolina team. So I got North Carolina.
Yeah, I actually got North Carolina too, man. I always been huge on Mac Brown, and I think this win was definitely huge, and it was a confidence boost for them. So I got North Carolina to win this game. Just to let everybody know everybody else's picks. Duke has Miami. Antonio has Miami. And Marlon's rolling with North Carolina.
Oh,
okay.
I might need
And y'all got y'all's picks.
All right, so our next matchup, we got Syracuse, who's actually ranked in the top 25. They're going to be going to Maryland.
Okay, so if anybody doesn't know by now, Maryland won 79-0 this past weekend.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Howard, if I played for Howard, I would quit after losing 79-0. That's pathetic. Man, that actually scares me a little bit. Maybe Maryland's just that bad, or Howard's just that bad. I don't know. Syracuse, on paper, they're the better team, but this is in Maryland, so it's tough to pick. I'm going to go Syracuse, but in a very, very close game.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the one that's more tough for me to pick. I'm going Maryland because they're at home, and I gotta believe that. Look, last year they beat Texas to open up their season. So I know they got talent there. Syracuse, I picked them last year. I think to beat Notre Dame. I want to say it was a Notre Dame game. I don't know what game it was, and they just let me down. So I'm not gonna buy into the hype of Syracuse yet. They got to go on the road to Maryland, and I just don't think Syracuse can get that done. So I'm going to go with Maryland. And I think Maryland's going to win this game pretty easily, too. Now that I think about it, yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? Syracuse struggling with Liberty? Oh, man, I got Maryland. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I got Maryland also, man. I like Maryland. They're pretty competitive, and with that big win, and now that they're going home, I think it's going to be huge for them, and I think their fans going to be behind them, man, and their defense. People talk about their offense. Their defense was huge, man. They had 3 takeaways in that game, so 79 zip. Come on. And then, Syracuse struggled. I think Syracuse gets knocked out of the top 25. Maryland wins. Just to update with everybody else's picks, Antonio has Syracuse winning. Marlon has Syracuse winning. And Duke has Maryland winning. So this is going to be interesting. So, all right, let's go to our next matchup. We got Stanford versus USC, which is really early this year.
Stanford, easy.
Yeah, I don't need to dwell on this Stanford, man.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah. What? Are you kidding me? No, man, I can't do this, man. Stanford's is definitely gonna win this matchup, even though the game is at USC. I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference. And Costello, man, the quarterback from Stanford. That dude, he's a very underrated quarterback in the Pac-12. So look out for him. So definitely Stanford, and I think this is going to be definitely easy for them. And just to update everybody else's pick, Duke has Stanford winning. Antonio has Stanford winning, and Marlon has Stanford winning. So everybody has Stanford in this matchup. So this is interesting. Okay, this is the wild card pick. And we got Nebraska versus Colorado.
Oh, I got this one right last year.
Upset alert of the week. I've got Colorado. I like what Scott Frost is building there, but I think it's going to take some time. I didn't think they were impressive last week at all. I thought they were actually very fortunate. Meanwhile, I like the direction Colorado's in. They have the former defensive coordinator from Georgia. He's also a good start. I'm going to go Colorado.
Yeah, I'm with Yvonne here. I did not like anything from Nebraska. I think last year they played, I picked Colorado, I want to say. And I know I was the only one to get this game right. I'm going Colorado again because Nebraska, like I said, did not look great to me in their game. And Colorado looked pretty good against Colorado State, rival there. So I'm going with Colorado to win this game.
So, man, I'm not going to be disrespectful to my family. They're huge supporters of the show, and I'm rolling with Nebraska, man. Go Huskers, baby. Lincoln, I see you. Omaha, I see you. What's good, man? Adrian Martinez, I think he's going to have a bounce-back game, man. And let's go Huskers, man. Cornfield, baby.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Not in the corner, so not in Nebraska, but not in Lincoln.
All right, all right, let's go to the two big matchups that that we're ready to talk about. So this is going to be really exciting, man. So we got number 12, or I think they're number 11 now. Number 11, Texas A&M goes to Death Valley. They go to Death Valley going against the top-ranked team, Clemson Tigers.
Well, Keo, Texas A&M could be ranked first, second, or 238th. I've got Clemson. Come on now. Clemson's on another level. They're at home. Dabo Swinney is very, very familiar with Jimbo Fisher. Texas A&M, I think, is building something nice there with Jimbo there because he's a great recruiter. However, Clemson's on another level right now. Not to mention they're at home. I don't think Clemson's going to run away with this game because Clemson can get lazy in the regular season. I've always said that about them. They just worry about the Final Four. I'm going to go Clemson 2 touchdowns, so I'm going to go 42-28.
Okay, I like that. It's not a bad score. I'm actually going to disagree with you on one thing. I do think it's going to be a blowout. I like Clemson big. I think Clemson's just too talented. I think that Dabo's familiarity with Jimbo he's gonna be like, look, guys, we can't play around with this team. We got to get in there and get it done. So I think Clemson's going to kind of come flex their muscles in this game. I like Clemson being. I think a big game from Justin Ross, another big game from Travis Etienne, T. Higgins and company. They're going to get this done. I think they're going to win this game. I think they put up another 50-piece. I think they score 50. The final score 56-24 Clemson.
All right, man. The joke's over already, man. So let's not be disrespectful to Texas A&M, man. Come on, man. I just feel like, they played, they handled business last week, man, against Texas State.
Oh, my God.
I think this program they'll continue to elevate under their head coach in his second year, Jimbo Fisher, and in his second term already, I think he's already made a lot of changes. He nearly pulled off an upset last year against Clemson in the 28-26 game, and the Aggies nearly dominated in every statistical category, man. So this is something people should look into, and they got an experienced a quarterback, Kellen Mond. He's a dual threat quarterback. He got capable receivers in that passing game, and they got some big play skilled running backs in the backfield with Corbin and Isaiah Spiller, and they combined over 200 yards last week. So I think this offense is going to challenge that elite Clemson defense, and I think this defense they're going to give Clemson a lot of trouble in this game because the Aggies, they like to run the ball between their quarterbacks and especially with their running backs. And if you look at it, if you look how they play, they got a similar type of option read-style offense that Gus Malzahn has made famous at Auburn. But Jimbo Fisher's way, his style is they pass the ball more, and I think that's going to hurt Clemson. I think it's going to frustrate Clemson, and they're going to use this to control the ball also, which will definitely benefit them, and it'll keep that Clemson off the field. So I think I like Texas A&M in this game, man. This you would usually I would say this is an upset. This ain't no damn upset, man.
No, I hear you.
I just feel like Texas A&M could hang with Clemson, and I think people are overhyping the Clemson Tigers right now, man. I think they're looking way too ahead. I mean, people talk about how stacked Clemson offense is, but they struggle to move the ball, passing it. They struggle, man. The guy that you guys claim to be the best player, the number one overall pick to save a potential football team, he went searching for 23 and 168 yards with 2 interceptions. He was missing throws down the field. He was forcing balls into coverage where he could have avoided that. You call that the best player in the world, or you call that a bust? You tell me.
Okay. I want to add a couple things, okay? First off, you mentioned the game last year. That Clemson won, and that was with that scrub, Kelly Bryant, okay? It wasn't Trevor Lawrence. And after that game is when Dabo said that we can't win with this guy. We need sunshine. And I came on this show and I said it's a good move because Sunshine can throw and this guy can't. And the rest is history. Clemson's at home, and I also want to mention this is round 10 between Jimbo and Dabo. Dabo is 5-4. Last year it was 4-4. He won 5-4, and now this is round 10. And don't get me wrong, Jimbo's a great coach. Won that national title at Florida State. I think he could have won more if he stayed. I still don't understand why the hell Jimbo Fisher left Florida State. I don't understand that. Florida State's a bigger program than Texas A&M. Texas A&M has more money. So if it was a money move, then I guess I understand. But whatever. This is round 10, and I'm going Dabo. Woohoo!
I just feel like if they struggle to move the ball against Georgia Tech, you think they're not going to struggle against a better
struggle? They did not struggle. Did you see what Travis Etienne did? He didn't struggle. He got 200 yards.
I'm talking about the passing game struggle to move the ball down the field. So that's why they have to give it to. I think Clemson is fine with struggling the ball if they're going to run for 200 yards. So you got to pick your poison.
And I'll say this, I actually think that actually is a bad thing for Texas A&M, that they did struggle to throw the ball. I think now that, Trevor Lawrence has heard about all the hype this offseason, he's the next big thing in college football, he probably came out arrogant in this game. They knew they were going to beat Georgia Tech. Now he might be a little bit more focused. Dabo could be like, you see when you play around, maybe you're not fully focused, you see what can happen, we can play things better than this. I think that they're going to destroy Texas A&M.
I'm just saying, if they struggle to move the ball through the air, I'm not talking about the running back. I'm talking about your quarterback. He went 13 for 23, 168 yards. He wasn't the talk of week one. The talk of week one was Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields. The dude was 13 for 23, 168 yards, and 2 interceptions. He was missing throws down the field. He was forcing the ball into coverage. There's game tape on that right now.
Well, we'll see.
And what makes you think? And what makes you think?
But it's going to come to fruition regardless.
No, I'm saying what makes you think they're not going to struggle against Texas A&M, who is a way better defense than over there at Georgia Tech?
Hey, so I'm going to be honest with you. Somebody say, like, okay, X, why you have it as a blowout? I'm going to tell you why. Because I am one of the biggest, if not the biggest, LSU fans. And I saw last year an LSU offense that could not scored plenty of points against that A&M defense that you're claiming is so good. LSU struggles to score the ball. And they just was moving the ball up and down against Texas A&M. Granted, Texas A&M won the game. But what I'm saying is LSU didn't struggle to score against them. Clemson is way better than LSU offensively. I'm telling you, man, and I think that the way Trevor Lawrence played this past week is actually going to benefit Clemson this week. Clemson's going to blow out Texas A&M. I truly believe that, too. This game will be over by halftime.
Well, this game ain't going to be over by halftime because they can't. They're not going to be able to move the ball through the air.
Okay, let me ask you this, Kiel. Over under Trevor Lawrence, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I'm going under.
I say over. We're gonna talk after the show. Woohoo!
Well, like I said, well, I got Texas A&M, and I'm confident Texas A&M will win this game, and they will pull it off in Death Valley. And don't act like Jimbo Fisher doesn't know, that type of game plan that Dabo Swinney has planned. I mean, he was very close last year. What makes you think he can't pull it off this year? So I got Texas A&M, and I got it in Death Valley, and I'm rolling with 30-27, Texas A&M.
Okay.
All right. So this is actually breaking news before we head to the NFL. Jared Goff just agreed to a long-term big money deal where 4 years for $134 million. So shout out to Jared Goff of the LA Rams. All right, so let's go now. We got the main event, man.
What you doing?
And it's LSU and it's Texas. How do we have it? All right, so before I get our picks, I just want to reveal everybody else's picks. Marlon is actually picking Texas to win this matchup.
Smart man.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go to Duke. Duke has LSU winning this matchup, and I think that those are everybody that actually the picks. Oh, wait, my bad. I missed Antonio, and Antonio had Texas winning this also. So we got 2 Texas and we got 2 LSU. I'm 1 LSU. Since it affects both of your guys' teams, I feel like I got to
go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so this is a huge matchup. We got LSU versus Texas, and man, you got Texas where there's a lot of expectations for Texas right now, and especially with the stars that's returning for their team. Especially, we all know about Sam Ellinger. You know, I always been huge on Colin Johnson ever since last year. So I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup, man. And LSU's defense, man, LSU's defense they got a lot of stars over there, man. Guys like Grant Delphi, man. I think he's one of the best defensive players out there in the entire nation, and I think he's going to be all over the field, especially wherever Sam Ellinger is at. And I think LSU they said they would be more aggressive throwing the ball, and they did show that this past weekend. Burrows he threw the ball very accurately, and it looked like a different LSU team. And with guys like Justin Jefferson over there, the wide receiver from LSU, I think, like I said, I think this is a different team, and as far as how I think the game will go, man, this is going to come down to it's going to come down to the quarterback play with the gunslinger, Sam Ellinger. I think he's going to make those type of plays that we're used to see him make, and he's going to get guys like Watson has to run the ball effectively. And Colin Johnson, I think he's going to be a huge threat at the wide receiver position, especially with his size. If they can't stop Colin Johnson, I think Texas pulls this off, man. And with the game being in Texas, I'm rolling with the Longhorns, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
31-17. Hook 'em.
You want me to go first, or you want to go first, Yvonne?
I'll go first.
Oh, yeah.
Because
let the winner go first.
Right. Because we know who's going to win this game. It's going to be the Texas Longhorns. Woo! Look, all I got to say is my main 2 reasons for Texas winning this game. And by the way, it's going to be a bad evening for the Lafayette residents and the whole Louisiana, because not only is Texas going to beat down on LSU, Khabib's going to beat Dustin Poirier, and it's just going to be a bad Saturday that they will never forget in Lafayette, Louisiana. But anyways, the main 2 reasons I'm going with Texas is, 1, it's in Austin. LSU, everyone knows LSU for their home field advantage and how crazy it gets in Death Valley. And next year it will be in Death Valley. Texas and LSU will play no matter who wins this weekend next year in Baton Rouge. And that's going to be a hell of a game. But this year it's in Austin, and I think that's a big advantage to Texas. And also, Tom Herman. I mean, come on. Tom Herman plays better in the bigger the game. And if he's an underdog, we've shown that his track record to be great. You guys remember at Houston, he would beat Oklahoma, and he beat Florida State in a big bowl game that I don't think anybody had them beating. And then obviously at Texas last year, alone, he beat Oklahoma during the regular season and then ended up beating Georgia in the Sugar Bowl where nobody expected us to beat Georgia. I didn't even expect to beat Georgia. Tom Herman turned down LSU. He agreed to be their coach until Charlie Strong got fired at Texas, and he said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to Texas. I think the pressure's on him, and I think he's going to deliver. He does great in big games. I think Texas has the better college quarterback. I think Sam Ehlinger is a Heisman candidate. He played really well last week. He was very accurate. I think he's more accurate than he was last year. And I think even though Joe Burrow and LSU were very, very impressive offensively this past week, it is Georgia Southern, and I think it's going to be tougher on the road. I'm going Texas, but I do think it's going to come down to the last minute. I'm going to go Texas 27-24. We win it with a game-winning field goal, and I think that game is just going to be madness.
Okay, I like it. So you both got Texas, right?
Yep.
In the words of my good friend from San Jose, perfect. Okay, so obviously I got LSU. Let's be honest. Let me say this. It's no knock to Texas, because I think Texas is a team that, they're slowly building their program back up. But I just think when you look at LSU, they decided to go get my man from the Saints, Joe Brady, as an offensive assistant coach. This guy basically, and I'm gonna tell you who told me about this guy, was my boy Coach Payne. I know Q met him, and he was like, "Bro, I am telling you, dog, LSU's gonna be better at throwing the ball now because Brady can really coach. Payne's been coaching forever, and he knows everybody in Louisiana. And he said, dude, I am telling you that dude Joe Brady is the real deal. Watch LSU's offense; they're going to be better." I said, "Okay, bro. Until I see it, I'm not believing it." I saw a little bit, even though it was against Georgia Southern. We saw LSU lose to Troy at home. We've seen LSU struggle against sad teams because they can't score. They actually were scoring. They looked good. Like Q said, everything Q mentioned. One thing about LSU, man, you know they're going to play defense. And you know they're not backing down to nobody when it comes to defense. One thing I will say I think that hurts Texas, too, is they gave LSU some bulletin board material. And I think that's what's going to actually give LSU a little bit more motivation. Outside of Tom Herman actually turning down the LSU job to go be the Texas head coach. I'm not knocking him. Texas has a lot of money to spend. I'm not mad at him for taking that job. But I think this is going to come back to bite him in the butt. And I think that LSU knocks off Texas based on that and with the whole picture of DBU. I know Texas has a picture that's on the internet right now about DBU because everybody says how LSU is DBU with all the good defensive backs they have from LSU over the years. I think it comes back to bite Texas in the butt. And I say LSU wins this game. Not big, but they're going to go away and they're going to pretty much close it out at the end of that game. It'll be close to the end, and LSU will score a touchdown to put the game out of reach. I like LSU, let's just say 30, 33, 20, 24. 33, 24.
And one thing I expect LSU to do early in this game, they're going to test that defense early in the game because I think Texas is only returning 3 defensive starters. Majority of their defense are either freshmen or sophomores. So I expect LSU, as much as they threw the ball this past weekend, they're going to throw the ball and they're going to test that Texas defense over there. And I'm looking forward to see how that Texas defense answers. And a lot of people mentioned about Colin Johnson, but look out for DuVernay also from Texas. I think he's a wide receiver that he might steal the show because that LSU defense just might be focusing too much on Colin Johnson. So just wanted to throw those in there.
You were talking about a receiver that's still a choice. Look no further than number 2, Justin Jefferson. Oh!
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we'll see. But we'll see what happens, man. So the predictions are out. It's official. I know Yvonne and True's been waiting this for quite some time. LSU and Texas. Man, we'll see what happens, man. Game of the week this Saturday. Tune in. All right. So that actually sums up our college football segment. Now let's go straight to the NFL. So later on the show, we're going to be doing our picks. We're going to discuss a couple of things that's going on in the NFL right now. We're going to talk about Jacoby Brissett, man. He signs a 2-year. He gets $30 million. So the Colts lock him down for the next 2 years. So is this a good move for the Colts, or is this a bad move?
Okay. Me being a Colts fan, obviously, I can really speak on this, but I think it's a good move, and I'm actually very, very happy that the Colts signed Jacoby Brissett to 2 years. Because let me be very, very clear. I think that Jacoby Brissett is one of the best, if not the best, backup quarterback in the NFL. He is in my mind. And what I mean by that is when you have one of the better backups in the NFL, that means a guy that can step in for 4 or 5 games and win you 3 of those. And I think he can do that. If Andrew Luck was still playing and he got hurt for 4 or 5 games, I think that Jacoby Brissett could come in and win more than half of those games. However, he is not a long-term NFL starter, if you ask me. He can show you signs, and I think he will this year. I think you're going to see some signs of Jacoby Brissett. You're going to be like, okay, he's solid. And I will also want to add, Chris Ballard and Frank Wright have a lot of confidence in him. The Colts, Chris Ballard came out last year and said we got a number 1 first-round draft pick offer for Jacoby Brissett, and they turned it down. And I was sitting there like, are you kidding me? Why did you turn that down? And they really have that much confidence in the kid, and they kept him, and look, now he's our starter for the next 2 years. I think this contract is more of a 1-year deal, hoping maybe Luck comes back next year. And I think that Brissett is very good, but I don't think he can take you to the playoffs. I still think the Colts are 7-9, 8-8 at best. I think he's a really good backup quarterback in the NFL. However, I just don't think he can take us over the top. With Andrew Luck last year, we were a second-round playoff team. This year, I had the Colts in the AFC title game. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is that good to take us there. Like I said, 8-8 at best. It's no knock on him. And that's another reason why I'm glad it's only a 2-year deal. The Colts will find out next year, regardless of what happens this year, if Andrew Luck's coming back. And if not, we're going to enter the draft looking for quarterbacks. And I think that's the right way to go because I'm not a Jacoby Brissett fan long term. So I'm happy it's only a 2-year deal. You have certain quarterbacks that get paid $30 million a year. I think there's like at least 5-6 of them right now. He got 2 years, $30 million, so 15 apiece. I'm totally fine with that. I think that's fair. I'm happy he got his money. I like Jacoby, but I just don't think he could take us to the playoffs, and that's why I'm happy it's only a 2-year deal. And I don't think, to be honest, when his contract expires, that he will be an Indianapolis Colt. And if he is, he will be a backup because I don't think he's a starter long term. But he gets a chance starting this Sunday, to prove us all wrong. And with Andrew Luck out the way, he has no distractions. He has a very talented team now around him. The Colts have one of the better offensive lines. We have drafted and acquired a couple of receivers where he's got a really, really good receiving crew, and the defense is on the rise. So if he's ever going to succeed, this is the time, and we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think it's actually a good sign, too. It gives them even more confidence to say, you know what, we have a team that before a lot of people had them, right down the cuff. I know I did. I said Patriots, Chiefs, Colts. One of them came out there, in my opinion. And now without Andrew Luck, you don't feel that same way about him. But with Jacoby Brissett coming in, you're saying, look, man, you're our guy. We're not just trying to start you this year. We're trying to start you. Like, if you can prove to us that you're the guy, go ahead and prove it. Here's your chance. We're going to give you a 2-year extension, a 2-year deal. Let's make it happen. So Jacoby Brissett has everything in front of him. He has a weapon. He got Marlon Mack. He got T.Y. Hilton, Deion Kane. He has talent around him. So there's no reason that I even mentioned Jack Doyle, Eric Ebron. Those dudes can do some things. If he has a chance to be successful, it's going to be with this team, with this organization. So I like the move as far as for the coach and for Brissett because they're giving them that little confidence, that look, we believe in you, but it's also short enough to say, you know what, if it doesn't work out this year, we don't have to eat so much money on the back end. We can get rid of him and we can go get our quarterback in the draft. So I like it for both sides, and we'll just see what happens. The more I think about it, the more I'm starting to like the coach still, maybe as a playoff team. I'm not going to mention that right now. I know we're going to talk about it, but the coach will be, all right this year. All right. And I can talk about it now because it happened. Shout out to me getting Marlon Mack. Thank you.
Yeah, you would love to mention Marlon Mack. All right. So I disagree with this move, man. I don't like this move that the Colts did. So basically the quarterback that's been putting in work for you for the last, years or so, Andrew Luck, goes and drops the bombshell. He retires, and then, you go and give Jacoby Brissett $30 million, man. I felt like they're trying to set expectations for this guy already, man. And they're just putting more pressure on him right now. And it's like, okay, we paid you this money. Now go and deliver for us. I mean, and their minds, oh yeah, you've been sitting behind Andrew Luck for the past couple of years, so you should know the system right now. I just feel like Jacoby Brissett isn't that guy for the Colts, isn't that guy that has that leadership mentality that can lead the team to the promised land. I just feel like the Colts throw away their money. Jacoby Brissett just stole $30 million from them, and the Colts act like they didn't care about it. I just felt like this was a bad move. I just feel like Brissett, he has potential, but I just think he's nowhere close to being a starting quarterback in the NFL, man. I mean, in 2017, I seen this guy play. That doesn't sound like a starting quarterback to me. That doesn't sound like a quarterback that could win me 7 or 8 games. That sounds like Dan Orlovsky, man. That sounds like Curtis Painter, man. That's what it sounds like to me, and I just feel like it was a waste of time, and they should never pay them this money, and now they just put a whole bunch of pressure on this guy, and they're setting expectations where you shouldn't be setting any expectations in the first place. So I don't like this move, man. I think this is a bad move. And you're not even into the season yet, and you just throw him this money and give him this contract. So, man, I'll just leave it at that. I just feel like the Colts should be patient and wait until this season is over and see options that they could explore, possibly trades, free agency, in the draft. But, this? Oh, you got to be kidding me. I don't like this move. Okay. All right, so let's go to our next topic. So we're going to talk about, we've been talking about this, the last few weeks. I feel like the saga will finally end. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Zeke Elliott and Melvin Gordon. So we're days away before the season starts. So what is going to happen to these two? How will their fate be handled, or their destiny be handled?
Okay, so Zeke Elliott is going to sign a 6-year, $90 million contract in the next 24 hours, and he will play Week 1 against the Giants. I'm not saying that because I hope it happens because of my fantasy team, but that is one reason I'm saying it. However, I truly believe it will happen, though. I mean, all the reports are saying that's going to happen. He made his way back to Dallas today. Zeke is going to be a Cowboy long term, and he's going to get his money. I thought he was an idiot for doing what he did, trying to hold out and get this contract. But the Cowboys fell for it. They shouldn't have even gave him this contract this early. But I felt like they felt like they probably had no choice, or otherwise he was going to pull a Le'Veon Bell. So it is what it is, and Zeke is going to be a Cowboy, and he's going to get his money. It's going to get done next 24 hours. All the signs are pointing to it. Apparently the issue isn't even the contract money, it's the structure. He just wants more guaranteed money. But Jerry Jones, at the end of the day, always pays his players how much they want to be paid. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing, because sometimes you overpay and you don't end up winning. But Zeke is their best player. And I loved him at Ohio State. I loved the fit in Dallas when he got drafted there. To me, Zeke deserves this money because he's always consistent. And he's going to get signed, and I think that deal is basically done. However, Melvin Gordon, I really don't know what's going to happen with Melvin Gordon. Apparently one team has reached out to the Chargers and is very, very interested in trading. I think it all depends on how stingy the Chargers want to be and what they want in return. However, I think that Melvin Gordon will miss some games, though. He won't ever play another down for the Chargers. I think that boat has sunk. The Chargers don't want to pay him, and he's okay with being traded if he doesn't get that money from them. So I think he's played his last out of the Chargers. I don't know who's going to get him or who that team is interested. I'm guessing it's not the Chiefs because they just signed LaShawn McCoy. So my guess, it could be Houston. It could be the Eagles. It could be, I don't know who else. But I do think that he's going to miss at least 4 games this season and eventually will get traded. And I think we'll end up playing the second half. But my guess is he might get traded to a bad team, and it might end up all bad for Melvin Gordon.
Okay. I see everything that Sean said. I see it the same way. I think he's going to clearly sign with the Cowboys. He'll sign with the Cowboys in the next 24 hours, like Yvonne said. And I'm not going to say what Yvonne didn't say. I'm going to say it. I hope he does. I got that fool in the 3 or 4 of my fantasy leagues. I need Zeke to sign. And I kept him in my big keeper league, so I need Zeke. come on, man. Sign this contract. Let's get it on the ball. I mean, let's get this show on the road, and let's ball out this year, man. I actually hope he does good for Yvonne. Now, the rest of Yvonne's team, I hope, chills out. Woo-hoo. Now, as far as Melvin Gordon, I think he's going to get traded. I do think he's going to get traded. I don't know who the team is. I have no idea who the team is. I know people are thinking it's going to be Houston. I don't know if it's going to be Houston. Possibly it could be, but they just got Duke Johnson. They added in Carlos Hyde. You're going to bring in another running back. I mean, I know they're not Melvin Gordon. I get that, but I don't know if that's the answer. So I don't know if they're going to go Melvin Gordon. I don't know who that team is, but I do think Melvin Gordon will get traded. If I had to just guess off the top of my head, who would Melvin Gordon get traded to? Golly. Oh, my God. I'm trying to think. Man, I have no idea. San Francisco.
Okay. Any chance it's Green Bay where he played college?
I thought Green Bay for a second, but I was like, you know what? San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan did have success in Atlanta with Freeman and Tevin Coleman. And they do like Breida, so it could not be, but I think that they want a good running back, and I think that Melvin Gordon is a good running back for that team. I think that maybe they'll take that chance. We do know they gave Jerry McKinnon a good little bit of money, and he's been hurt last year, and he's going to be out again this year. So they basically just lost their money on that guy. Maybe they go get Melvin Gordon. So that's what I think they'll do. I think it's going to be the 49ers. That's just a guess. I just pulled it out there, literally. So I think he gets straight to the 49ers.
Was Zeke? Yeah, I seen the reports out there. Actually, Yvonne actually reported it, so that's how I noticed it. And he is in Dallas. There's reports that he's getting ready for a deal in place. Back from Cabo, he's in Dallas right now, and I think a deal is gonna happen, man. And I'm excited, man. I think it's definitely gonna happen, and put this all to bed, and let the talking do on the field. And I think he's gonna end up being the highest paid running back in the NFL history. So I think he definitely deserves it. As far as Melvin Gordon, it seems like the Chargers you look at the Chargers, man. They don't want to pay him, but they got a high price tag on Melvin Gordon. Obviously, they know how much he's worth. They know he's going to get paid that money, but they just want to be stingy and not pay him. So the Chargers got a high price tag on them. They're asking for a lot. But I seen you guys mention San Francisco. I like San Francisco because Tevin Coleman, I don't know if he's, that starting running back you expect him to be. You've seen him spending money on Jared McKinnon. Last year he tore an ACL. Now gets placed on IR. As far as the Green Bay Packers go, it makes sense because, he did go to Wisconsin. But I think the Packers, they're confident with the running back that they got. I think it's going to be a team that's under the radar that nobody's talking about. But Yvonne was right. I think it's a team that sucks really bad that just needs something to wake that team up and that city up. And the team that I'm thinking about right now, I think it makes all sense to me, man. I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man.
I can see that too.
Because they got some salary cap money left to play. I was looking it up actually, and the running backs that they got, Ronald Jones, Peyton Barber, and especially with a new coach, I think they could use something fancy and with somewhat of a big name and flashy out there to get things done. But if anybody knows Bruce Arians, he's not the type of type of coach that'll pay a big money to a running back like that. But Peyton Barber and Ronald Jones, man, Bruce Arians got to tell himself, am I really confident with that duo, or am I more confident with Melvin Gordon? And I know Jameis Winston would love some Melvin Gordon, especially the weapons he has now. As far as Ronald Jones, I think he has a lot of potential, but he struggled as a rookie. Jameis Winston, he needs weapons other than Mike Evans. You got O.J. Howard there, but I know Aaron wants to turn Winston's career around. And good for Winston also. Someone to take the pressure off of him, especially in the backfield. And Gordon, as well as anybody, he's a huge threat on the receiving end also. And he could take the ball to the house, and he's a great teammate. So I think this is great for Tampa Bay, and I would love this move for them. And it's a team that's under the radar. They don't have to worry about anything. They got salary cap left, and they could obviously pay him with that big money he wants, and he could be the star of the team, man. And he got good talent there. Mike Evans, Jameis Winston might turn his career around if something happens, and a new coach also. So I feel like that's the right option for Melvin Gordon. I think that's the perfect destination for him.
That could be true. That definitely could be true. I'm not going to deny that.
All right, guys. So, time is flying by past us right now. So, man, we got to go straight to these predictions right now. So, we got a long list of predictions that we got to do. Plus, we got to, do our weekly picks for this week's game. So, you guys ready for the predictions?
We already know.
All right, man. So, let's start off with, so this is the time where you guys could, we broke down all the divisions already. So, we kind of know who's picking who. But right now, this is the time where you could actually change your division winners right now. So, all right, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start off with the NFC, your division winners, and the two teams that makes the wild card playoffs.
Go ahead, True. I'm still setting up.
Okay, all right. So, in the NFC, Kill's making me come out early with my shocker. Okay. NFC, baby. We got the Dallas Cowboys winning the East. I'm sticking with the Cowboys. I think with Zeke Elliott, they're going to win the East, even though the Eagles are a tremendous team. They have a lot of weapons. I think the Eagles are going to take a step back for whatever reason. There'll be a team that's fighting for that wild card spot and possibly may get the wild card spot as I get down my list. In the West, I got the Rams, of course. I think that they're just head and shoulders above the rest of that division right now. The Seahawks are trying to, make some moves here and there, but still the Rams for me. The Cardinals have a rookie quarterback. I just can't go that far to dethrone the Rams right now. Love Sean McVay. I love their weapons over there. So I'm going with the Rams. The 49ers, I got to see more from Jimmy G before I can pick up the 49ers. In the North, y'all already know. The Bears, the Chicago Bears, baby. I love this team. I won't deny it. That's the team I love. And in the South, I will tell y'all, I'm having some second thoughts on this pick. I got the Saints, but I'm not sold on it. I'll be honest with y'all. I am not sold on it at all. Something's telling me that the Saints are going to struggle this season. They'll make the playoffs, but they're going to struggle. I'm going to keep them as my division winner because because I just think they have too much talent on their roster not to make the playoffs. Okay, my 2 wild card teams. I actually went against my board just now. I'm not going to lie to y'all. My 2 wild card teams. Golly, I can only pick 2, man. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks over the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that the Seahawks are going to get in. I like Russell Wilson enough. I think that the defense, they've made some moves, added to David Clowney. I know a lot of people are saying, that's not a great move. I think it's a good move for the Seahawks. I think it gives them some little flash to their defense. You still got Bobby Wagner, who's just a tackling machine. And it's tough to beat Seattle at home. Seattle's a really good home team. So I'm going to go with Seattle. And for my shocker, yes, people, I'm about to shock the world. And it's funny Keo said it. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers making the playoffs. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I
what?
got the Tampa Bay.
What?
I went from saying
what? Hey, am I awake?
Yes, you are awake. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the division. I'm going to tell y'all why. I sat back and I really thought about it. And I have it on my board right now. And I was like, dude, Bruce Arians is an awesome coach. He's not just a good coach. He's an awesome coach. When Arizona was trash, he changed Arizona's whole culture and got them to me better after Kurt Warner years. And Arizona, once he left, Arizona kind of fell back to what Arizona was. I mean, he had an unfortunate situation with David Johnson, got hurt. But Bruce Arians is an outstanding coach. And when you look at their roster in Tampa Bay, to me, they got a lot of good players. You got Mike Evans. You got a stud receiver. You got O.J. Howard, a young, emerging tight end who was balling before he got hurt. You got Jameis Winston, a former number one overall pick. If anybody can get something out of him, it should be Bruce Arians. They just signed Ndamukong Suh this offseason, so they have somebody in their front four that's just a beast. I told you I like Hargraves out of Florida, even though he's undersized. I like Hargraves a lot. I just keep thinking to myself, man, because initially I'm going to tell you, I didn't have the Bucs in. And I said, if I have the Eagles in over the Bucs, that's basically saying that every team from last year is going to make the playoffs again this year. And I can never tell you, because I've been watching sports, the same 6 teams from last year make the playoffs again. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that all 6 teams will be the same exact 6 teams to make it to the playoffs again this season. So I said, let me go through the teams that, you wouldn't think that have a shot. And I got to the Bucs and I was like, man, Bruce Arians, he's a really good coach. So, yes, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers making the playoffs. Yeah, it could be a shot. I could be wrong. But I do like their roster. I think Bruce Arians turns that team around, and I think they get into the playoffs. And don't be surprised. I know it's not going to be popular down here in Louisiana if the Bucs win the South. I'm going to say it again. Don't be surprised if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the South. That's how much I like them. But going over to NFC real quick, my number 1 team is the Chicago Bears. I think they're going to be the best team in the NFL this season. I've said that numerous times. Number 2, I got the Cowboys. I think they'll get the other bye in the first round. Number 3, on my board, I got the Saints having to play in the divisional round. And number 4, I do think the Rams take a step back, but I think that the Rams still win the division, like I said, and they'll be a 4 seed. At the 5 seed, I actually got the Bucs. And then in the 6 seed, I got the Seahawks. Yvonne?
Yvonne, you want me to go or?
I'll go. I'm so shocked by the Bucks. Someone needs to drug test Truex.
It's gonna be on my Instagram story tomorrow.
So
hey, hold on. Before you go, Yvonne, if the Bucks make the playoffs, I'll give my props too, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
got it.
So just the NFC for now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So from the North, I'm going with the Chicago Bears. Chuck Pagano's their new defensive coordinator. Maybe he does better as a coordinator than he did as a head coach. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But I just think that defense travels. And I think that their defense is on another level. It might be the best in the NFL. I think Khalil Mack is going to be Khalil Mack, and he's going to have a huge year. And I think that they are going to win the North. I can't say I'm sold on the Packers because I just don't know what to expect out of the Packers and their new head coach. They did improve defensively, but I do need to see more from their. I just need to see it. I just need to see it, and it starts on Thursday. And so I can't see them win the division. I think the Vikings are in the mix, but the Vikings can't beat the Bears. They played them last year twice, and the Bears embarrassed them. Kirk Cousins going up against the Bears defense is a nightmare for him, and it's not a good look at whatsoever. And the Lions, they're not worth mentioning. Going to the NFC East, I have the Philadelphia Eagles winning this division. I think that the Eagles are a beast waiting to unleash. I think Carson Wentz is a monster. He's going to have a huge comeback year. And I really like the Eagles' offense. I love that they added Deshaun Jackson back. I love the Howard move. I like Miles Sanders. I just love what the Eagles have going on. I think that they win that division. From the South is tough because I'm keeping an eye out on the Panthers because you never know with the Panthers. They either let you down or let you or really hype you up if you pick against or with them, but you just never know with the Panthers. So it's tough to predict them. The Bucks are not making the playoffs. Stop that. And the Falcons are going to be improved, but I think that the Saints still win this division. I don't expect the Saints to be as good as they were last year, but I do think they win this division because I just don't know what I'm getting out of the other teams in this division. Out of the West, man, the Seahawks got better with the Clowney move. I liked where the Niners are headed, and the Rams are the Rams now. Are they going to have a Super Bowl hangover? That's the question with the Rams because we've seen it every year from the Super Bowl loser. They just have a big letdown. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Rams. It's just too hard not to. They have too much talent. Jared Goff, Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks. It's just Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters. It's just too much to go up against. So they're going to win the West. And then I'm just going to rank those four. I think that the Eagles will be the number one seed going into the playoffs out of the NFC, so they'll have a bye. Number two in my mind will be the Rams. I think that the Rams will be the Rams. Even though they're coming off a Super Bowl loss, they'll be number two. Number three, who do I have? I think that the Saints will be number three and the Bears will be number four. And that leaves two wild card spots. I think that the Cowboys grab the fifth spot. I think that the Cowboys are too talented not to make the playoffs. They're just in the tough division with the Eagles. I think those two will be battling each other all year for first place. And the sixth spot is very tough to predict. I mean, come on. You have the Falcons. You have the Panthers. You have the Niners, the Seahawks. Hell no. The Packers could be there. I'm going to go with the sixth one. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I just like where their team is headed in a direction. Jimmy G is going to be healthy. You got Nick Bosa. You got Dee Ford. I like what they got out of Quan Alexander. I'm going to go with the Niners. So my six teams in the NFC are the Eagles, the Rams, the Saints, the Bears, Cowboys, and Niners.
Wow. So you got everybody from last year except you got the
Niners.
Okay, I'm starting with the NFC West. I got the Rams. I think they're gonna, they're gonna have their highs and lows, but it's still gonna be the Rams. The offense is pretty much the same as long as everybody stays healthy. Going to the North, I'm picking the Green Bay Packers, man. I don't think much of the Bears besides their defense. That's it. And I got the Bears. I got the Bears. I got the Packers winning the division. To the South, obviously, it's going to be the Saints. I think the Saints, they get closer every single year. 2 years ago was Stephon Diggs in the divisional round. Last year was the NFC Championship game. So I got the Saints in the South. In the East, I got the Dallas Cowboys, man, especially with Zeke back. You got Amari Cooper. They added, a lot of pieces on the offensive side, improved on the defensive side. They got their core front seven still. And I like the Cowboys' young secondary led by Byron Jones. So I got the Cowboys winning the division. The one wild card spots, I'm giving it to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles going to have a bounce-back season with Carson Wentz. I got them at the 5th spot. In the 6th spot, I'm rolling with the San Francisco 49ers, man.
Wow.
Yeah, if you notice, I don't have the Bears in the playoffs. I got them at exactly 8-8, just to let you know. But I think they'll be an explosive team and show major strides on the offensive side. With Fangio gone, I just think the Bears are going to be too inconsistent. But they'll be in there for a lot of games, though. So those are my wild cards. So starting at the 1 seed, the 2 first-round buys, I got the Saints at the 1 seed. I got my Cowboys at the 2 seed. I got the Rams. I got the Rams at the 3 seed. At the 4 seed, I got the Packers. 5 is led by the Eagles, and 6 is the Niners. And that rounds up my division winners plus the wild cards. All right, let's go to the AFC. How we have it.
Man, that is crazy. I can't. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, man. You good? Go ahead. You want me to go first? Hello? Do I still have you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm here. You want me to go first?
I'll go first. I didn't know I was.
Yeah.
I thought that you had wanted to say something. I was like, okay, well, let me just go. I'll go to AFC. Okay, so I'm gonna go in order from the very beginning. Okay, my number 1 seed. I'm gonna go in order. The West winner is the Chiefs, and then the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. I think that they're going to just dominate the AFC again this season. Add the addition of Shady McCoy, and you just got Patrick Mahomes with Damian Williams. With that offense, you got Sammy Watkins, you got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Just too many weapons. Andy Reid. This team is going to be explosive again this season. I got the Chiefs as the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is going to be somewhat surprising to maybe some people. I know a lot of people have the Patriots. I got the Houston Texans. I got the Houston Texans winning the South, and they're going to be the number 2 seed. I like what they have. I like Will Fuller on the other side of DeAndre Hopkins. They add Kenny Stills in there. I like those 2 receivers. I think that's a really good 3 receivers that you're going into the league with. Duke Johnson, Carlos Hyde know each other from their Brown days. I think that's a nice little 2-headed monster that they can, run the ball with one, catch the ball at the backfield with the other. And, of course, you know about J.J. Watt and the defense. I think the division's kind of weak. I'm going with the Texans as the number 2 seed. The number 3 seed, obviously, is the New England Patriots. The Patriots can be the 1 seed with their receiving core. They might have the best receiving core in football, in my opinion. If Josh Gordon is healthy and he stays out of the limelight, out of trouble, you have Edelman, and now you have Demaryius Thomas. That's ridiculous. That's not even fair. And I heard Gronk say if Tom Brady was to call him, he would come out of retirement and play this year. If that dude comes back, that's ridiculous. Tony Michelle, James White, too much talent. They get number 3 seed. My number 4 seed, well, each winners as well. My number 4 seed is the Cleveland Browns. I think they're going to be very explosive on offense. I think their defense is going to be really good. I actually think they're going to challenge for a bye. Their record's going to be close to the Texans and the Patriots. They'll have a very good record, a winning record. I think they're going to dominate that division. I think people are in for a shock because I know a lot of people feel like the Steelers.
Let me guess. You got some players of the Browns on your fantasy team. That's why you're saying that.
Absolutely. I had the Browns win the division before I got these players, so that's neither here nor there. My number 5 team, though, I have seen the light. Another 5 seed. In the NFC, I had the Bucks. My 5 seed in the AFC, that's to the home and light, man. I got the New York Jets. I'm going with the Jets in the 5 seed. I think the Jets will be really good this season. The addition of Le'Veon Bell. I actually didn't want to trade Robbie Anderson in my Baker Mayfield trade, but the dude was not going to get me Baker Mayfield without trading Robbie Anderson. So I like the Jets a lot this season. Their defense is going to be really good, led by Jamal Adams. I like them, man. And they got Williams in the draft from Alabama. I think they're definitely going to be tough. They're going to get the Patriots all they can handle. And my 60, I keep going back and forth. I'm not going to lie to you. No, I don't have the Band-Aid for the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they're going to miss out because they let Melvin Gordon go. No, I definitely don't have the Raiders. Definitely not the Broncos. You know, the Broncos have a good defense in their challenge for a playoff spot. I'm going to the South for mine. And I'm going back and forth between the Jaguars, the Colts, and the Titans. I think they're going to be very close to those 3 teams. But I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I said the Jaguars defense comes back to their form 2 years ago. Nick Foles makes enough plays. Leonard Fournette's going to be a beast this season. I got the Jaguars the 6th seed.
Okay, I'll go next. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed in Truex. I have to say I'm very disappointed. I just expect you to see the light before everyone else, and I can't believe you are on the Cleveland Browns bandwagon. Come on, you got to know better than that. They are not ready for the playoffs. I'm sorry, they're not, and I will put a bet that the Steelers win this division because they will. I've got the Steelers coming out the North. I don't think the Browns are ready. I think that in all the lights in the AFC North are on the Browns. Well, I think that the Steelers are going to be fine. They got Juju. I think that James Washington will be nice. And if any team builds receivers, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. James Conner, if healthy, I think is going to have a huge year. I see it. What?
They didn't even win the division last year.
No, but I think they had a lot of distractions last year. They didn't know whether Le'Veon was playing. Antonio Brown's acting a fool. Big Ben's arguing with him. I think this year that the Steelers are in good position. I really do. In the East, I don't know what you're talking about, True. Yes, the Patriots or the Jets might give the Patriots some trouble, but the Patriots have not been in the wild card game since 2010, and I'm supposed to believe that they're going to be a 3 or 4 seed? Hell no. They're going to be the number 2 seed going into the AFC playoffs.
Okay. Come on, True, get with the program now.
Yeah, I mean, come on. What are you doing, True? Am I talking to C or True? I think you got C. I think you got C on the line.
Maybe
but anyways, but out of the South, man, it's so disappointing because I thought the Colts would run away with this division if Andrew Luck was here. He's not. The Houston Texans catch a break. Even without Clowney, they're going to win this division. And in the West, it's not going to be the Oakland Raiders. It's not going to be the Denver Broncos. And it's going to come down to Chargers and Chiefs. With Derwin James out, I'm going with the Chiefs. I think that the Chargers could do it. However, Derwin James is going to be out until like November, and that's a huge loss. So the Chiefs are going to win this division. I have it 1 through 4. I think that the Chiefs will have the best. Actually, I'll change that. I think that the Patriots actually have the best record in the NFL, followed by the Chiefs at number 2. So them two get a bye. Number 3, that would mean Pittsburgh or Houston. I think Houston's going to be number 3. Pittsburgh's going to be number 4. Number 5 will be the Los Angeles Chargers. And number 6 will be the New York Jets. I think that the Jets are heading in the right direction. I see what you're seeing, True, right there. But that doesn't mean just because they play the Jets twice that the Patriots won't be a team on the bye week. Those are my AFC predictions.
All right. All right, AFC West. This is going to be a very competitive division this year, but I'm still rolling with the Chiefs in this one with a slight edge. So I got the Chiefs. All right, so we go to the North. I disagree with you, Yvonne. I just think there's too much explosive weapons over there, and with that talent, they gotta make it happen because I've never seen so much hype in the city of Cleveland since LeBron came there. And this has to happen, man. So I got the Browns winning this division with all the talent over there, all the free agent signings, trades they were able to do. I like the Cleveland Browns in this division. We go to the South. I'm going with the Texans, man. The Texans, they, ended the year with a hot start. I think they racked off 10 straight or 9 straight wins. So I got the Texans in the South. They traded for that O-line. They drafted 2 offensive linemen there in the draft. Lamar Miller, I think he won't be missed that much. And then you add Kenny Stills in the slot position with Will Fuller and Coutee. Obviously, you know what D-Hop's capable of doing. So I got the Texans winning the division. Obviously, the Patriots are going to run through that division. So I got them winning the East. Now, my wild cards, I got the Steelers making it as a wild card. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth fight with them. I think the Steelers, they're going to start off the season slow, but they'll finish strong. So I got them at the 5th seed. So my last playoff spot, man, I really like this team this year. They made drastic improvements. They improved nearly at every single position. And I think the time is now, man. And it's the last year in Oakland, man. Bay Area stands up, man. I got the Raiders making it to the playoffs, man. Let's go, man. So,
oh my God.
So as far as my seedings go,
Wait, hold up. I thought you had the Raiders win the division when we did this show.
No, I said they would make it to the playoffs.
Oh,
I said they would make it close to win the division.
You did. You're right.
So I got the Chiefs so the 2 teams get the first round bye. I got the I got the Chiefs. I got the Patriots at the 1 seed, Chiefs at the 2 seed. My 3 seed. I actually have the my 3 seed is the Browns. My 4 seed is the Texans. 5, I told you earlier, is the Steelers, and 6 is the Raiders. So that rounds up my AFC playoff picture. All right. So before we're gonna get back to the Super Bowl in a minute. So we got some more predictions to do before we give you our Super Bowl picks. So let's start off with the Coach of the Year. Who's winning it?
Okay, I'm going to go first. The Coach of the Year. Oh, man. I don't think Nagy will win, even though I think the Bears or the Chiefs have the best record overall in the NFL. I just think those two teams, we can almost expect them to be really good. It comes down to a few candidates for me. Adam Gates is going to be in play. Bruce Arians is clearly going to be in play. Man, bruh. Ooh, Jason Garrett, I think he's going to have a shot, bruh. I do. I think he's going to have a shot. I'm going to go with Bruce Arians because I just think that nobody sees the Bucs winning that many games. And I didn't have them initially, but if the Bucs get into the playoffs, you have to respect that. So I got Bruce Arians.
Okay. I can see that if the Bucs somehow magically make the playoffs, but I don't have that happening. I think that the guy that's going to win Coach of the Year is Kyle Shanahan. He gets the Niners to the playoffs.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I know Kill got John Gruden, so let's move on. Go ahead, Kill. I'm messing with you, bro.
Kill.
Man, I'm about to
I got John Gruden. Sorry about that. Keo, stop vaping and pick your prediction. I got John Gruden.
Comeback player of the year. I'm not listening to Keo. Comeback player of the year. I got Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell comes back and does monster things for the Jets, and the Jets get into the playoffs. I got Le'Veon Bell.
Okay, not a bad pick. I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz wins Comeback Player of the Year. Keel, stop vaping.
Can you hear me?
Wild, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Keel.
Comeback Player of the Year. I'm rolling with Josh Gordon.
Wow, that's a good one. I like it. And that'll be a great story too. I'll be honest with you if that happens. Okay, we're gonna do offense. We're gonna do offensive. We're gonna do defensive rookie of the year. I got Devin White from Tampa Bay. I think he's gonna be a beast for Tampa Bay. And I didn't mention him in my thing with Ndamukong Suh and Hargrave, but that's the other level of defense. That mid range, Devin White's gonna be crazy. That linebacking core is gonna be good.
Okay, I've been going back and forth. I have either Josh Allen from Jacksonville or Brian Burns from Carolina. I watched both in the preseason. They both been balling. Man, I'm gonna go with Josh Allen from Jacksonville.
Okay.
For defensive rookie of the year?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going with Bosa from the Niners, man, for defensive rookie of the year.
Okay. Offensive rookie of the year. This is a slam dunk. The only person that can win it outside of this guy is Kyler Murray, and I don't think it's going to happen because I think this guy has a shot. And y'all can laugh now, to lead the league in rushing, baby. I'm talking about David Montgomery, baby, of the Chicago Bears. Woo-hoo!
Okay, well, funny thing is, I'm with True. It's David Montgomery from Chicago.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I don't have David Montgomery. I'm going with Josh Jacobs, man. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
All right. Defensive Player of the Year, I don't have to go any further than Chicago. I got Khalil Mack. Oh!
Well, True must have looked at my list because I got Khalil Mack too. I think that Khalil Mack gets 20 sacks and leads the league. Keo, what are you doing, man?
All right. We're going to go to MVP nearly, Yvonne. Man, I can't even lie to you. I don't even remember. Yvonne's going to probably remember this. For the first time in a long time, we're going to have back-to-backs. Patrick Mahomes with MVP again.
Wow. Okay. I want to say the last time was Peyton Manning.
That's what I think. I think so too. Peyton Manning.
I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has a huge year and wins MVP.
Okay.
Keo's still asleep. So